Hey everybody, Steve Bergen here, and we are going to take a look this week at the Add to Google Classroom. It's a Chrome extension. It's not a Google Drive add-on, although it will seem like one to you. It's a Chrome Web Store extension that's going to boost your functionality and allow you to easily create assignments, questions, and announcements to your students in running a class with Google Classroom. So your lesson 4 homework assignment is going to be here in green, and you're going to use this add-on 3 times. Once you're going to use it to make an announcement to students, one you're going to use it to ask a question, and one to create an assignment. And to make it easy for me to give you feedback, it's required that one be called Homework 4.15M, one is Homework 4.15A, and one is 4.15C. M for make an announcement, that's first. A for ask a question. C for create an assignment. Okay? So, this plus symbol, yellow plus in a green circle, appears on my web browser up here when I'm using Chrome because I added it. Right? If I go to the 3 horizontal bars and I go down to settings and I go to extensions, I'm going to delete it so it won't be here. So notice now as I go to Google Classroom, I don't have the plus. That's just like you. So what I've got to do is get the plus. How do I get it? I've got to go to the Chrome Web Store. Now I use the Chrome Web Store so frequently I have a little link in my bookmarks toolbar that says CWS. But you can go to chrome.google.com/webstore, or you can even go and just type Google Chrome Web Store, and that will take you to the web store that has a URL. And then you're going to be typing into the web store, add to classroom. You know, usually we don't know whether it's an app or an extension, but we don't really care. When I push return, right, it's going to say add to Google Classroom. It's done by this British teacher named Andrew Caffrey, and we're going to click add to Chrome. It's going to add it as an extension. It now says it's been added, and that's what you're going to do. So you're going to have that icon, which is a yellow plus in a green circle. Now, this is my Google Classroom page, and it contains Google classes that I am pretending to teach as teacher, together with ones that I am a student of, and you might be the teacher of. So what I'm going to do is pretend that I want to have my students read this article about Donald Trump. So Pope Francis on Trump building walls is not right, building bridges. And so I find this article. Here it is. And I quickly want to just announce to my students to read this for tomorrow. So I've got my green plus, green yellow plus, and once I'm on the website I choose add to Google Classroom, and I click on the little chalkboard, and it loads it up and it says what class, and I'm going to say my summer core class, and I'm doing assignment M, which is 4.15M. So I'm going to make an announcement. I choose go, and I share with class homework 4.15M, and I say, please read this article and watch the video before our next class. And then I choose post, and I posted it, and I can view it. And this is how it's going to appear to Jane Doe, right? That Mr. Bergen has posted this link, a little miniature, and it's really, really easy. Okay, I'll do it again. This time I will type in Ted Cruz, and I will find an article. And now once I find the article I want, I'm going to click on the green yellow plus, which is an extension that I've added to my Chrome browser up top. It's not a Google add-on, it's a Chrome Web Store extension add-on. And after I do that, I slide down. You can't just press the yellow plus, you have to slide down to the little chalkboard and click. And this is going to be for the summer core class, and it's going to be the type that's going to be ask a question. That's slightly more sophisticated than M, make an announcement. M, make an announcement, was just, hey students, please read this article. A, ask a question, allows dialogue to happen from student to student, and teachers can jump in as well. So this is going to be 4.15a. I choose go. I will call it homework 4.15a, and I will say, please browse website and watch video. Then answer the question below, and please react to each other in a polite but meaningful way. And so the question is Cruz an American citizen? And what is Trump's motivation in bringing this up? Do you agree? Now, I like students to be able to edit their answers, change them, and reply to each other, so I'm throwing these two switches. I'm putting in a due date, which is going to be March 9th, which is the date that lesson 4 is due. Okay, so there's a due date. There's the link. Students can reply to each other. And then I click on ask. And now I posted it. And if I view it, this is the way Jane Doe is going to see it. It is similar to 4.15M, but different. It's different in that Jane will be able to answer the question and then read what other people have done as well. And I'll try to show you what Jane does in a few minutes. So 4.15M, 4.15C, and now I will come up over here and I will type in Sanders Clinton, and I will find this article that says Clinton feels the burn and trails Sanders by, okay, and now I'm going to find this article, decide that I want my students to peruse it, read about Clinton and Sanders, and now I'm going to choose the yellow plus in a green circle. I'm going to click on the chalkboard, right? The little chalkboard there. I'm going to choose the class, which is my summer core class. And I'm going to choose the action, not type M. We did that first, not type A, but type C, create an assignment. So I'm going to call this homework 4.15C, and we're going to call this learn about Sanders and Clinton and now draw a caricature of each one using a Google Draw document. Again, it's not an announcement, so it has a homework completion time. And again, I'm going to make it be March 9th, which is when lesson 4 is over. I choose assign. And now it's going to have a different flavor. I'll show you how Jane Doe does it in a second. I just want to point out, because some people stumble, is that I am logged in as Steve Bergen at riveroaksacademy.com, and this is my Google Classroom page, and this is my Gmail, and these are my Google Docs. But none of those things have anything to do with the fact that under these 3 lines, I've also logged in to my Google Chrome account, which is the top, which is the browser. In other words, you may be using Google Classroom and Google Mail and Google Drive, but you've never gone up here and logged in to your Chrome web browser, right? It's a hard concept to explain. It's hard to grasp, but they're different things. I could switch persons here, and I could be sbergen33, and I can log in. I can still have, if I switch and I'm over here, and I have logged in as somebody else, it's different than who you logged in as Google Classroom, Google Drive, and Google Mail, right? So that make sure that as you go to Chrome, you have logged in with the 3 lines and settings, so it knows that there you are with your River Oaks Academy or whatever your Google Classroom account is. Make sure that it's the same one, right, as the Google Classroom account that you're on. They're independent things. Right at the very top, I'm trying to mouse rub, the very top with this and this is your Google Chrome login. So when you go to the Chrome Web Store, you're going as that person. Your GC, Google Classroom, and GM, Google Mail, right, is letting you access your mail or your Google Classroom activities, and we want them to be the same, but they might not be the same. And if Add to Classroom doesn't work for you, 9 out of 10 times, the reason it's not working is because you've never logged in to your Google Chrome, so Google Chrome doesn't know who you are. Okay? I'm going to log out of Google Classroom as Steve Bergen, and I'm going to log in, sign out, and I'm going to sign in as Jane Doe, so you can see how a student add account Jane Doe at riveroaksacademy.com. Next. And I type my password. And now, notice it's actually smart enough to say, do you want Google Chrome to save your password? Save it. And now let's check. Do you see how it says Steve up there? Well, if I go Google Classroom, I'm at Jane Doe's Google Classroom. If I go to Gmail, I am at Jane Doe in terms of her email. But if I come over here, I'm at Steve Bergen in terms of my Chrome login. I need to switch persons here, or I think I actually need to log out with the 3 horizontal lines, settings, and disconnect your Google account. See, because I've signed in Chrome, and so I have to be Jane Doe for both. And this is subtle, right, and annoying, right, but it's really, really important, right, that you have to be, right, in your account here as Jane Doe at riveroaksacademy.com. I'm not trying to drive you crazy in this. I'm trying to sensitize you to this because I've made this mistake many times, right? And if you switch accounts a lot like I do, you encounter this problem, okay? So now I think I'm all set. And if I come over here and I look at that, settings, sign into Chrome, Jane Doe at riveroaksacademy.com. If you only use this once and you don't have multiple accounts, then this stuff, right, is not going to be hampering you. But I think I've driven this home, and you're seeing my frustration here, right? But I don't think it's a waste of time. Make sure that both of them say you, right? Now here's Jane Doe, right? Got it. So now Jane is the Chrome user, right? If we go to classroom.google.com, here's her classroom stuff, and I need to show the bookmarks up top. And so Jane, who's the student, she doesn't need the add to classroom. No, she doesn't need it at all. She just opens up her class called Summer Core, and she sees the various homework assignments that have been given to her. And let's look at them in order. Right? 4.1M doesn't have a due date, doesn't have a calendar. It just says, please read this article and watch the video. It just has a nice friendly link on the Google Classroom page so that she can open the article, she can read it and come to class prepared. There's nothing that she needs to do. That's that assignment. The one called Homework 4.1a, the instructions say browse the website and watch the video, and then answer the question in a meaningful way. And this is her answer. So after she watches it, and it even says classmates will see her answer, okay? So now she comes here and she says, I think that Cruz is correct in saying, and now I just do some fake typing. So this is what the student types in homework 4.1a, and then chooses submit. And then I get to see all my classmate answers, right? So that you get a sort of a discussion board going amongst your students, and you can see what they've written, and they can read each other and react to each other. And then I choose done as Jane. Now in this other one, my teacher, Mr. Bergen, is saying draw a caricature of each one using a Google Draw document. So now when I open this, after I've read the web page, I'm going to either choose add or create. Add if I've already started it, or create if I haven't. And so now I'm going to create remember now I'm on Jane Doe, the student, so Jane's going to create a drawing, and with that drawing, she's going to draw a caricature, and then she's going to attach it using her skill after she creates it, right? And then she's going to choose it, mark as done. All right? I know this is somewhat lengthy, but I hope you understand the details here, right? And you can also see that Jane has a different, right, thing on the top than I have. And that's really, really important. Really important for you to see that. There's a feature called New Incognito Window, and I use that sometimes, and that allows me to keep Jane's in one window, and then I can, go to Google Classroom and I can log in as Steve Bergen in this one, and that's what New Incognito Window does, and that's very useful, right, if you want to have things side by side. And if you are doing things that involve some instruction and you want to be able to display two windows, now I'm showing you Steve Bergen, the teacher here, while you're looking over here at Jane Doe, the student. And don't forget, because some of you have, that we'd like to have these assignments in order. And one can say it's a pain, or one can just say that's the feature and the way it works. But if you want to put things in order, and you want lesson 2 to come before lesson 3, to come before lesson 4, you have to come down to lesson 3 and use the feature here, move to top. So now lesson 3 is above lesson 4, and then you go down to lesson 2, all right? Or I'm going to go down to lesson 1, and I'll move that to the top. And now the order is lesson 1, then lesson 3, then lesson 4. Right? So that's why it's a good thing to number your assignments. But it's kind of funky how you move to the top. You move to the top first, what's going to be your last things. Right? So that if I was putting this in order, I would put all the homework 4s to the top by using this feature, move to top, and then I would put all the homework 3, move to top, and then the homework 2, move to top, and then finally homework 1, move to top, and then the students would see it in the order of 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Remember, I'm in incognito over here, so I'm going to come over here, and now when Jane refreshes here, and she sees the work from Mr. Bergen, right, homework 1 is before 3, is before 4. Okay? That's a lot to absorb, but I hope you will learn this stuff and then do it, right? You have 3 little assignments to make and put onto your teacher page, the same one you started in lesson 2. One is homework 4.5M, 4.5A, 4.15C, and do them in that order, right? Make, ask question, and create. Okay, Steve Bergen signing off. Bye, everybody.